overwhelmed today, grab a pen, take a deep breath, and I'll show you a lovely tangle that will help you to slow everything down and help you feel calm. This tangle is called Fengle, which is an official Zentangle HQ tangle. I'm Lisa Crow, a certified Zentangle teacher, and I'm just going to get straight into tangling. So yes, Fengle starts with, we're kind of coming somewhat into the centre of the tile with a kind of S shape. You can see that I've not like kind of done, you know, an S, like kind of even, like kind of curves top and bottom. And we'll go all the way around the edge, trying to kind of evenly distribute these S shapes. We'll probably end up with 5, maybe 6 of these shapes. Okay, so now we have our first step done, and we're going to go out to the left hand side of each of these S's with another kind of S shape that's going to join into roughly halfway along the S that's on the left hand side of the original one that we're drawing from. And do that all the way around. And what I'm going to do next is to create an aura inside each of these sort of triangular-ish shapes, maybe look like a sort of shark's fin or a wave on the sea. So I'm going to aura this line here first. And you can experiment with having your lines be wider or narrower. You could have like this inside triangle be a lot smaller if you did this aura wider. It's entirely up to you. But I have to say, I am actually enjoying the peace and quiet at my own home just now. It's the Easter holidays, and my daughter and my husband are both feeling, we've just actually come back from a weekend away to celebrate my dad's 70th. We went to a place called Ely, which is a seaside town in Fife in Scotland. We had lovely weather, which can be quite unusual for Scotland. So I'm just going to stop here for a moment. So you can leave your Fengle exactly as it is here. You could add some fillers, whether it's, you know, tipple, like orbs or like some kind of pattern here. You could ink these inside triangles in. That's actually one of the variations of the Zentangle official step outs. But I'm going to teach you the next step in Fengle, or the other variation of it. So the variation is that we're going to add a bit of over and under, like hollyball fashion. So we're going to imagine this line here is going to be visible here because it's going under this line here. So I'm just going to actually draw that out, and then you'll see what that looks like. And I'm going to do that in every single shape along here. It's just nice for creating a little bit of over and under. It's quite nice. So the way I've actually created that just now, you can see I've created a circular shape. That's actually not necessarily, I'll show you one that I've done previously. So this one, I've not ended up with a circular shape. It's just kind of the way that my my lines have worked out today. So you can see there are actually different possibilities depending on how you've drawn each individual stroke. You'll get a different effect potentially. I quite like this today. So that is the inking stage of Fengle. So I'm just going to actually add some more ink. Now, because I have just incidentally been left with this circular bit here, I'm going to do something where basically I'm just going to round these individual corners of each of these individual sort of triangular shapes. So it's going to look almost as if we've got an orb smooshed into each of those bits. And I'll pick up my story again. So yeah, we went to Ely, lovely weather, great little location. I hadn't personally ever been to Ely before. I've been very, very close to Ely, but not quite into Ely. And oh, it was just lovely. Such a lovely holiday, and it was nice to spend time with my family for my dad's birthday. But you know, my little nephews, being the age that they are, and even Isla, to be honest, is the same, just always get all the different colds and bugs and anything illness wise that's going. So Isla, who's 5, and my husband have come back feeling all snotty and sorry for themselves. So this morning I've planned to film this video a lot earlier this morning, but it was just too chaotic elsewhere in the house. So much stuff going on. I thought I'll just wait until they've both headed out to the supermarket to get some shopping in. So I thought I'll wait until they're out of the house. Isla was resisting getting dressed this morning, and Bob didn't really have the energy to get her dressed and get out the door, so fun times. I think my dad liked the surprise though, because he knew we were going on holiday, but he didn't know where. And my mum had organised a video of lots of people that he knows recording a message for him to wish him many happy returns. So it was very emotional in the best possible way. So I have inked in my Fengle now. I just went around those outside triangular-ish shapes as well, and rounded the corners to create some orbs. So now what I'm going to do is I am going to add some graphite on the insides of these triangular-ish shapes. Do that in each one. I'll probably add on all 3 bits, but I'm just going round on the left-hand sides at the minute. I just find that a little bit easier if I'm pointing the tip of my pencil to where I want the graphite to be. Just a bit more accurate. And I add at the base now. And I'm also going to add some pencil around the outside edges as well, especially, I mean, you could, if you wanted to, you don't need to add graphite all the way along because we are just shading a pattern, so it's entirely up to you. We're not going from a light source point of view. If you wanted to put a bit of pencil here just because this bit is overlapping the bar here, you could do that if you like. I'm going to add graphite all the way along, but obviously you can recreate this tangle time and time again, and you could look at different ways of shading it each time. It was actually a bit weird. I knew I wanted to teach Fengle on my YouTube channel, so I went to look out all of the previous Fengle tiles that I have created, and there weren't nearly as many as I had anticipated, so I don't know whether it's one that I have maybe given to people, because I sometimes put my tangles on cards for people. Don't know if I've done them and given them away, or maybe they're in a sketchbook that I've forgotten about. So now that I've put in those pencil lines, bringing out my good old blending stump and just slight circular motions, smoothing that out, and just makes this pop. Really adds, I mean, once you start putting the pencil in, I think you can see it starting to transform, but it's really, for me, it's when you actually put the blending stump to work, and it really, like, because it becomes more of a shadow rather than a pencil line in my mind. And you know, your eye is kind of adding some information as well, like you kind of, even although it is pencil line, your eye's kind of seeing it as a shadow. So I do like this, the way that this has worked out today. It's a little bit different. So what you could also do if you wanted to is to add some graphite on either side of this band that's going under one section to the next, between one section and the next, just to add a wee bit of shadow where those orbs are. And I mean, you could actually leave this just as it is. I think it's lovely as it is. Just because I can, I'm going to scatter some orbs here and there. You know, feel free if you would want to do something different with your background. Or you might be inclined to just stop at the stage before adding these. Just adding a bit of rounding. I actually can't believe that we're talking about Easter already, like just mentioned before, being the Easter holidays. It's, I don't know where the year is disappearing to. And it's actually making everything feel so real. Like I've got, I'm launching a membership. I don't think I've mentioned it on here yet, but I'm going to be launching a membership for people to come along. I think it's going to be once a month. I'll have a live session, and maybe, like, you know, the other lesson in the month that I'll offer. I think I'm looking to do something that's a bit more of like a pre-recorded thing that people can join in just whenever it suits them, whatever their diary allows for them. And then it just means that you don't have to match everybody's calendars as much. So that's going to be launching at the start of June, and to think about the fact that it's actually Easter now, it's like, well, it will be here before I know it. If you would like to join, then you can obviously demonstrate your you can let me know, and I'll add you to the wait list, which is basically just going to let people know first about, you know, all the things that you need to know for my membership, like, you know, prices and how to get started and the official dates and stuff. Because initially I kind of just had the 1st of June in my head. I just thought it was just kind of a fairly random date that I thought would give me enough time to pull everything together. And then somebody said, oh, that's a Sunday. And I very nearly went off doing it on the 1st of June because of the fact that it's a Sunday. But I thought, no, that's nice, because whether you are somebody who has family who live with you, or whether you have grandkids, or whatever your story is, I thought, you know, it's something nice to do if you actually just feel like you could do with like a kind of way to calm everything down. I thought, what a lovely way to prepare yourself for a week ahead, just to kind of have a session of tangling with other people who enjoy tangling. I just think it's going to be so great. So yeah, let me know if you want to know any more information as well. Obviously more than happy to tell you about that. So here we are. We have completed Fengle for today. You could go in here and add little lines all the way along to add texture to these fin shapes, or you could obviously just leave them exactly as they are. I love how this looks kind of like a starfish. This is one that I created previously. I love this one. This is a map tangling one. You know, just basically you can see I've pre-stained this tile. It's a grey one, I don't know if you can tell in the camera. I've pre-stained this tile with basically orange and a bit of green watercolour paint, or ink. And I've only tangled on the bits where there's actual ink rather than being outside of it. That's called map tangling. This one is my variation of, I think it was a project pack that was done recently. I'm trying to remember exactly what this was done for. All I can remember for sure is that Rick did this one when the Zentangle thing went live. It may have been Project 25, possibly Project Pack 24, but I do love this. It's just very dynamic. It almost, to me, looks as if it's moving. It's great. I love this one. And you can see, obviously, like I was mentioning before with today's, about putting something in those fin shapes, and you can see that I followed along with the way that Rick did his, and he's put the orbs in here. So that's where I got the orb inspiration from. It came from Rick. And this one, pretty sure that it is a Fengle. I just was trying to remember for sure whether it was Fengle or not, but I think it is, because you can see like there's the S shapes here, and I think I've just kind of filled it in slightly differently with this fragment here. And so yeah, there's lots and lots of different things that you can do to make Fengle your own. So go off and have fun with it. If you have tangled along after watching this video today, I'd love to see what you come up with. You can tag me to let me see it. So it'd be hashtag create and cam with Lisa. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, and I'm also on here on YouTube as well. So yeah, just thank you so much for joining along, and I will hopefully see you next week. So happy week ahead, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.